Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Miel Hebraika, Hebrew Honey, and today we're looking at some studies on parables. We're looking here at a phrase from the Old Testament. I open my mouth in a parable. This comes from the Psalms, and it's Eftacha beh mashal pi. Now, a parable is comparable to a proverb, and sometimes and this one is mashal. This is often translated as proverb, but also be translated as parable. In fact, when you get to the New Testament, it's translated as parable. So, mashal and pi of the parable of my mouth, and then efhage, I open my mouth in a parable. We'll begin here with Psalm 78, verse 1, just an introduction here. A Psalm of Asaph. Asaph is the word Asaph means to join together. So this Asaph became a whole family, incidentally. And this was joining together choirs to make a group of people to sing, but also joining songs together, putting the psalms together, assembling collections of songs. So to bring things together. Asaph. You can remember this from the name Joseph. Joseph is the one that was added on. So add in, add this, add that, and so forth. You can add in people, you can add in songs, and that's the work of Asaph. So Mashkil, this is a Mashkil, a song, a style of song of Asaph, dedicated to Asaph or from Asaph. Azna im ami torati. Okay? My ears, make my ear open, give ear. Okay, Azna, Ami, my people, Torati, to my law, construct, use of Torah. So you got Torati, and a mil accenting here of an outlaw. So Torati. Hatu, okay, incline, and so take the tet here and just point yourself a small spot that it indicates. So aim for a certain spot, okay? So aim your ears to a certain spot. Incline. Hatu. Oznecha. I'm going to take this as a, even though it has a markup here, take it as a kamas hatuv. Oznechem, your ears. Incline your ears, point your ears to a certain spot. Nechem, plural here, ending of your, this is plural, all of your ears, okay? Lemri, P, to the sayings or the words of my mouth, okay? Incline your ears to the sayings of my mouth. This Aleph Memresh, very well known verb, but here we see it as a noun to this construct plural form of omri, okay? Imri. The Amorites also were known as speakers. People do a lot of talking. So, Lamari, the sayings of my mouth. I open my if pata, if teha, bamashal, p, avia, hidot, mini kedam, asher, shama, nu, ונדע הם ואבותינו שפרו לנו. And this is first person plural. I open, patah. Patah is to open. This is then the vowel that's called patah. We find it here, find it here. Tef patah here, and here find it here, find it right here. Often used for opening a sentence. So yeah, it means to open. So patah. Maftea is the key, is something that opens something. Maftea. So, if hata, b'mashal, in a parable. Mashal, parable also can be translated as proverb, but when we get to the New Testament, this word is translated as parable. B'mashal, P, of my mouth. Avia, I speak. Okay, avia, I speak. Also, both of these are prefixed forms of the verbs in Aleph, okay, epata and abia. Hidot, the mysteries, sometimes translated as riddles, but sort of sort of hidden things, hidot, so mysteries. Beni kedem, from of old. Kedem is used also for the east, and things that are old come from the east, but also used as kedem for the east. In fact, one of the publications about archaeology in Israel is called Kedem. Nice mil el accenting here of Kedem, double sigillate here, and so mil el accent's pretty well expected here. Mini Kedem, from of old. Asher, which Sham Anu, we have heard. Ned Da'em, and this is so we have here Shamanu. This is which were heard. So this is a suffix form of the verb, and this one's here's a prefix with no. We've gone from singular here, I, to plural. We know of that, of them. Okay, we know of them. Only the dalet aleph ayin is left from the yada. Well, the yod here's gone on its way, and we have da'em. Okay, we have known. We know that. Ve'abotenu, and our fathers. Shifru lanu, has told to us. Now, shifru is to not only tell but lay it all out in order. Set it out in a very clear explanation. So that's how books are put together. Sefer, and the word book is also derived from this noun or this verb. Take this verb to say something or express something, to list something out, and then when you have done that, you have a sefer. So sefru. This is the fathers have told us, plural form here. Now this is first person plural suffix. Our fathers of ours have told to us. Okay, so this new here and this new here is to us. Our fathers have told to us. And so this is Psalm 78, verses 2 and 3. This is quoted in Matthew 13, and all these things Jesus said to the crowds in parables. Indeed, he said nothing to them without a parable. The word parable is just a direct cognate of parabola, of what we see in Greek. Something that's spoken about something else. Okay, so it's a story about something else. It's a story that illustrates something that brings a principle. So, and he said nothing to them without a parable, and this was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet. Now, the psalmist here, Asaph, is considered a prophet. That's if you're going to have something in the Word of God, you're going to be a prophet, even though you're an author of Psalms. Even though you're not in the list of the official prophets of Isaiah and Jeremiah and so forth, but yes, you are a prophet because you are bringing the Word of God. So I was spoken of by the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. Okay, now to the plural. I will declare what has been hidden since the foundation of the world. Now this is from Matthew, and it's kind of obvious. In fact, it goes from singular to plural here in Matthew, and in the Psalms it was in singular, mashal. It's kind of obvious that there is some adaptation, and this does indicate that one of the traditions of the transmission of the text is that Matthew was first written in Aramaic and then later on translated back into the Greek. And so what we see here, quotes from the Old Testament, came into Matthew via the Targums, and the Targums quite often were interpretations. They weren't exact, direct translations, but they certainly carried the sense of what was happening. And so this seems like a whole lot like a Targum, and it's the same thing here, not just from the ancient times of the mysteries, but since the foundation of the world. So there's an interpretation happening here in the translation that was brought from the Psalms to this place. So and Jesus used that. Jesus most certainly spoke a lot of times in parables. And often he spoke in parables to people who didn't understand the gospel, and then later on explained quite a bit more detail, quite a bit more depth, what the parables meant or what they signified to the disciples. And the disciples then communicate that to us. So we have the benefit, and when we read the New Testament, read about the parables, many times we can read the parable, we can also read what the parable was teaching us. And so that's a two a two-step process. First of all, you can think about it in a very simple way, and then also apply it in a very deeper way to our lives. So put attention to what Jesus is telling us in the parables, and it's beautiful because we can start in a very simple, understandable way, a certain concept, and then later on we can go into that with a lot of depth. So God bless, and place your attention to the parables that Jesus has been giving to us, and they most certainly guide us in what we live in service to God and service to Jesus. So pay attention to his parables. They're very important instruments of education and instruction to us. And so that's why Jesus used them. That's why we can benefit from them. God bless, and until the next time.